What's going on, guys? This is Dean from Wafflypie, and today we're in Kerbal Space Program again, and we're going to be launching a space station, as you can see on the screen right now. This is not going to be one like the Wafflypie Industrial, which I made in about like 10 minutes, and it does not work properly as a station. However, before we launch it, I'd like to show you these new parts, which are part of the Kethane or Kethane mod, depending on how you want to say it. And so what these do, detect and extract fuel from satellites and other planets, and so you can pick them up, you can drill them out, you take the drill here, and it pulls them up into your ship using these gas tanks here. And then you can convert it into rocket fuel and oxidizer. So it's very useful for making bases, which we're going to be doing really soon. I don't have any of these on the station, but I thought I'd put that in there so that I didn't forget later. Oh, this rocket is kinda wobbly. The station is going to be in a very low Kerbal orbit, only about 100,000 kilometers. And so the way stations work, you have these things, the docking ports on them, and so if you have other ships with docking ports, then you can put them on and connect them. And then you can have big stations, which is what we're going to be doing with this. It's going to be useful when we do longer missions, because you can refuel and everything. So let's go. I do have very terrible clipping happening right now because I turned the graphics quality to very low, because it used to lag at this point when I was just taking off and it had to load all the terrain. So I turned the terrain graphics all the way down, and now it seems to be running a lot faster. So that should be good for now. Although it does look fairly slow because of just how heavy this station is. And this is just the core. It's just gonna be massive because you can hook other parts up to it, and like you can have this part here. And so this is just gonna be part of it. I mean, this is just the center, so this is what we're gonna be docking to. So stations can very quickly grow to be incredible sizes. So in that case, this video is probably going to be only about 15 minutes long. I'll include the trip up there, otherwise this video is going to be about 2 minutes long. I'll try to stretch it out as long as I can. Which also means that I need to talk for quite a while, which means that I have to think of things to come up with. So, with the key thing, how it works is you send a probe to the moon or wherever you want, and then it'll scan for keything. At that point, you can go here. Then you can see these hexagons. You can turn them off if you want, but if you have a satellite, then if there is keythane, then the keythane area will be green, and if it's not, then it'll be gray. And so out of the atmosphere, so we're gonna go a bit over 100,000 so that the atmosphere can give me a bit of drag back down, because that's what atmospheres do. Once I find keythane on the moon, I'll send a drill up and then have Gage walk all the way over there. But that's gonna take him a long time because of how far away he is from where I want it. I would like it to be on the side of the moon that's always facing Kerbin, so that I can see Kerbin if I just look up. But what happens, happens, I guess. Okay, so let's set a maneuver here. Ooh, they're about 100 now. Go. Ooh, there we go. That's good. So that's gonna be good for us. So we need 1,400 meters per second in delta V to get to that. But we're using the big rocket, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. I don't even know if I should wait because it's such a short time until the burn that I can just go right now if I wanted. So let's go now. I hope this is symmetrical. Dangling and wobbling, it might not be. I suppose that's okay. I also didn't put any rockets on the station because it doesn't need to move. By its name, Space Station, it is stationary and so it doesn't have to move. It just can be static in relation to its original position and it just stays in one spot. So that way it's easier to dock to. Also put a guidance unit on the lower part so that I can deorbit it. Because if you have that just right next to your station, that's not going to move much. It'll maybe go the 20 meters of the force of decoupling, but it's going to be in a parking orbit right next to the station the whole time if I don't. Once you detach this, if you don't have the control on it, then that's it. It's just gonna be right there and be in your way the whole time. Okay, so I can't get it in a perfectly circular orbit, but I guess that's okay because other ships aren't going to be able to get into perfectly circular orbits that easy either. So if you just connect it, then it'll work better. All right, so let's detach his here. Oh wait, oh I can't do that here. Hmm. All right. Because I can't move the station, so I'd have to hit through it. So I'll have to turn it a bit before I go. All right. Decouple. Let's switch back here and point away. Oh, it has RCS. Okay. It helps a lot. So let's put it over the retrograde and burn. All right, so that now that that's in the it's gonna hit the atmosphere. Oh, I can't do that while I'm throttled up. Okay, let's switch back. So now we're back at the station, and let's flip it. It can turn a lot easier. Let's flip it so that it's facing upwards to us. Okay, there we go. So at this point, we can extend the communications satellite, which is actually facing the wrong way. And that's it. We're done with the station. We're good. It's ready to be docked. So let's have these guys come out and inspect it for. Oh, if you could not do 360 no scopes there. Let's have them come out and inspect it for damage from that's traveled to orbit. Oh, I also have this, which is going to be able to store other Kerbins. So we can have him fly around here. Doesn't look like anything fell off. Because that happens very often. These ladders here, which they basically give you a bit of a grip if there's nowhere else to hold on to. Alright, so let's have him back in the station. It's all working fine. So now, finally, I have this thing here. I'm not sure exactly what you'd call it. But what it does is you decouple that, and it has RCS on it, and so it can go out and grab a hold of ships that don't have RCS, and then it flies over, and it attaches one side to that ship, and then it can use its own RCS to bring it back and dock to the station. And this actually becomes like a necessity with heavier ships because they don't really have the room for RCS and will not need it for the rest of the flight. So why bother putting it on? Let's set this as a target and see how well I can dock. Docking takes a long time when you're doing it without something that was originally attached to the thing that you want it to be docked to. So judging by how long this can take, it'll take a long time. So what this is going to be used for is to have refuels, and it'll let ships get here and be refueled. So we're done with this station. We've tested everything and it all works fine. So we'll have Stephen Kerman come out here and look at how excited he is to be on the very first space station. So for now, this has been Waffly Pie, and I'll see you guys next time.